Then I get invited next year, and they can say they got a president-elect coming. This is Christmas. You Iowans, I love you. You're all crazy. The idea that anybody in Delaware would pay any attention to anything about politics 5 days before Christmas is beyond question. But we've been going around the state the last 4 days with crowds of 150 to 300 people, and I'm wondering, why aren't they Christmas shopping? But you're wonderful. Thank you for the opportunity. Look, I'm just going to say two things. Number one, when we got the invitation, I got it indirectly through my staff from Mike and Carol. I thought it was an invitation to a family party. I mean it sincerely. And that's why I accepted it. Because you've become friends of mine. You become friends. And you ask anybody in Iowa that knows me, have known me for some time. The most incredible part, not a joke, folks, of running for President of the United States of America is that you find people who go so far out of their way for you without, it boggles my mind that people do. And they genuinely become your friends. Genuinely. This is an incredible family. And the reason I wanted to be here, if it were just a family party, is because Tim's home for Christmas. Which is no joke. This is a big, big, big thing for my family. And I understand I met a couple here whose grandson is on his way home and is supposed to be here by Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what Christmas is about. Christmas is about family. And there's nothing like, and I can't help but think about all those kids, and they're not kids, they're grown adults, but all of them who are the only people in this country sacrificing. The only people sacrificing are these kids, and they're incredible. I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan and the Gulf. I've been there more times than everybody else literally combined. And I go at least every 6 months. And I go out and see these kids. I ride in their Humvees. I get in their Blackhawks. I go into every part of that country. I visit every single time the field hospitals. You would be so impressed. You would be so impressed. They just do their job. And they do it in a way that absolutely blows me away. One of the things I have to say to you all is that these kids are genuinely heroes. You guys don't know that. You don't know that because you don't see anything about it. All you hear is numbers. You don't see the families who are waiting at Dover Air Force Base, waiting for them to come home the wrong way. You don't see these fallen angels. You don't see these kids getting in these vehicles every single day, riding the routes they ride, knowing that the day before one of their buddies was taken out, knowing that it's a roll of the dice. These kids are brave. These kids are truly brave. I don't use that kind of language lightly. They are brave. Bravery is doing something repeatedly that you've observed is the most dangerous thing you could do. And getting back in that vehicle, walking back in that street in Fallujah or Anbar, anywhere in Anbar, or down in Basra, wherever it is. So folks, think about them. And think about all those parents who are waiting for their kids to come home. And one last thing. This is really a season of possibilities. I believe with every fiber in my being. I've been there for 7 presidents. There's only 4 people who've been there longer than me. I believe with every fiber in my being, this nation is so ready to get up on its hind legs. This nation is so ready to do great things. They're just waiting. They're just waiting. They're waiting to be challenged. And I promise you, the rest of the world, I know most of these people. I know most of these leaders, not because I'm important. I've been hanging around with them a long time. They resent the hell out of our power, but they respect the fact we're the only nation in the world that has the possibility to begin to shape a world that is a hell of a lot more hospitable for our kids and avoid the carnage of the 20th century and the 21st. So there's so much to be hopeful about. There is so much to be hopeful. you've heard me say this before, imagine what would happen if a president of the United States said, I called a meeting of all the world's major powers to meet with me in Geneva to begin to jointly plan the demise of the rise of fundamentalism in the world. Who would not show up? What would happen if you had a president who stood before you and said, I want an energy policy that will free us from the iron grip of those oligarchs of oil, and it's going to require sacrifice, and I expect it of you? Who in America would say no? Ladies and gentlemen, trust the people. Trust them. They got more grit, they have more guts, they have more capacity than any people in the world, and they've never, ever, ever let their country down. So I can hardly wait. I really mean it. I can hardly wait for the opportunity to lead this great country, because I promise you, the next President of the United States has the single greatest opportunity of any man or woman since Franklin Roosevelt to shape the world and redefine who we are as a people. Reclaim who we are. And folks, so this is a season to think about it. This is a season to believe in it, because I truly believe in it. And I'm not, as I said, I'm not naive. I'm not new to this. I'm not some young, idealistic guy who has these rose-colored glasses on. It's the journey of the history of this nation. Every single solitary time we've made great strides, it's been in the face of great difficulty. That's when we are different. So folks, welcome Tim home, and all the other men and women are coming home. And I promise you, my goal as president, if I get chosen as the nominee, my goal is to bring them all home without leaving chaos behind. So we don't, my son's going, but I don't want my grandson going. I don't want my son going. But how we leave there, that region, is going to determine whether my grandson goes. And we can do this. We can do this. But most of all, I want to thank you guys. You've got an incredible family. Thanks for letting me be a little bit a part of it. And I apologize 5 days before Christmas talking about anything except the hope and possibilities this nation has. I belive it. I give you my word, I believe it. I hope you do too. Thank you.
Yes.